Hello there, Simon Keeling here, Monday the 19th of March. Thanks for joining me and thanks for watching once again. As always, this forecast is kept free of charge by the adverts that you see around the screen here. So if you do like one of the adverts that you see, click on it, go through to the advertiser, it generates revenue for us, and it shows the sponsor that you're interested in what we're doing as well. And of course, if you'd like to sponsor the site, it is available here and available for sponsorship. Just get in touch and let me know. Okay, I've got some good news for you. Well, at least for those of you who want some rain, I think we can see some rain on the horizon. Perhaps not immediately, but there's certainly something there. And we're getting the global models all coming together in the long range and starting to hint that we could see some normal conditions, some wetter conditions breaking through in the next few weeks. I'll show you what I mean in just a moment, but I want to get through the detail of the forecast for the next few days first of all. And really, high pressure dominates, as it has done for quite some time. Look, you can see this high down towards the south of the country here today. We've got the time here, by the way, in the top right hand corner. So this is the forecast for 6 o'clock this morning. You see these outbreaks of rain that were affecting northern and western parts of Scotland. If we go through the sequence, outbreaks of rain just going into northern and western Scotland overnight tonight and into tomorrow, but you can see how most of the country is dry. Now watch what happens to that high pressure as we go through Tuesday and into Wednesday. Look, here it is building its way northwards, and in fact that high hangs around as we get through into the later part of the week too. Although that's not completely the story, as I'll show you in just a moment, because this model's not picking it up because the resolution isn't there, but there is an area of rain that looks like it's going to be tracking northwards across western parts of the country during the course of Wednesday. During the course of Thursday. Let me show you that chart now, because it does pick up quite nicely on the rain. This is from the GFS model, so this is the forecast up to midnight on Thursday. Here's the area of rain, look, approaching the southwest. Now watch what the GFS does with it. It moves it northwards, look, through southwest England, through Wales and into the east of Ireland, and then eventually into the Irish Sea through the course of Thursday afternoon. Some pretty hefty bursts of rain in there as well. We could be seeing 10-15 millimetres of rain through these western areas if it occurs. Confidence is pretty low in it at the moment, I have to admit that. So we're going to watch the next few runs of the model, but certainly looks as if something could be happening in the west during the course of Thursday. But by Friday, it's all disappeared out of the way again, and we're back into the familiar routine of high pressure. However, what it does do is it brings in more of a southeasterly flow. Now this is going to be making conditions very warm. Temperature's going to be rising, and we could see 20 degrees Celsius, as you'll have already seen, I've posted on that. So 20 degrees Celsius possible across the country by the end of the week, and it looks as if it could be staying warm too into the weekend, although just bits and pieces of rain perhaps starting to edge into southern England and southeastern England, but just not amounting to very much. In fact, it stays mainly dry into the weekend and into next week too, although with this easterly flow picking up, look, through the channel, that means that we are going to see bits and pieces of rain perhaps moving through the channel during the weekend. Those of you who like sailing and sailing in the channel, watch for that easterly wind picking up during the weekend, probably taking us up to a 4 or a 5, but generally fair conditions. And for those flyers amongst you, it looks as if it is going to be a good week for flying during this coming week. Just watch for that rain in the west during Thursday. And then let's just take ourselves forward into next week. Well, look, high pressure is still there. It's still the dominating feature, but I want you to watch what happens now as we get to the end of the month. Look at this westerly flow up to the north of Scotland. Yes, high pressure is still dominating, and this is Thursday the 29th of March, so still high pressure there, so still plenty of dry weather around. But watch what happens. That westerly flow, look, comes further south. The model is pointing at signs that high gets squeezed away further south. Outbreaks of rain coming into northern and western areas, which is exactly what you would expect to see with this flow. But you can see this definite change. Low pressure to the north, high pressure down to the south. And notice how through the beginning of April, that is the dominating factor. You see, these winds becoming more westerly. So it looks as if conditions could be turning more unsettled. Now, we're getting some backup for that as well from other places. I want to show you this chart first of all. This is the analogies of the 500 millibar flow. The UK is under here. Look, here's the States under here. And what we do here is the model actually looks at the forecast in 11 days time. So it's looking at the forecast for when are we? It's looking for the forecast for the 29th of March, and it then gives us some comparison years when those years were similar to the pattern that's being shown up on here. Now what's fascinating about this, and I'll post a musing about this, is that all of those years there, I've got it written down here, if you then project forward 2 weeks, so we take the period from the 30th of March to the 13th of April, given those years being similar to this year, of those 10 years, 4 were average to wet, 2 were wet, and 4 brought average rainfall. None at all brought dry conditions. So that would be that period, the first 2 weeks of April. And after that, the second 2 weeks of April, of those years, in those 2 weeks, 4 brought average to wet conditions, 1 brought wet conditions, 4 brought average rainfall conditions, and there was only 1 dry year. So what I'm showing you here is that although the actual long-range CFS model keeps it dry, what the analogies are saying is, the analogues are saying, is that actually conditions become wet after about 12 to 13 days time, which would take us up to the end of the month. So the ensemble model here is predicting this more westerly flow. That backs up with the pattern of conditions for as shown on the analogues. So is that telling us that conditions are going to go more into a westerly and conditions are going to become more unsettled? Let's see what the long ranges actually say. Well, this is from the Japanese model, and I've turned this upside down so the UK is in the right location. North Pole is up here. Look, this is for the period of 9 to 15 days, issued on the 12th. So this was last Friday. So this is the period from where are we? We're looking at the period from the 21st of March. So we're looking at the period from Wednesday the 21st of March. So from yes, so we're looking at the period from the 21st March. So we're looking at the period from this Wednesday through for the following week, and just look what happens. High pressure's in, okay, so high pressure's built in, which is what we're seeing at the moment. So conditions are dry, but then look what happens after that. This is the position taking us into the end of the month and the beginning part of April. Yes, we've still got higher than normal heights to the south, but look, the flow is now westerly. It's now coming across the Atlantic, and to the north we've got below normal heights, so the jet stream is across the north of the country. This is in full agreement with the ensemble model. So are we going towards more unsettled conditions at the beginning part of May? And let's just look at what the IRI probability forecast for precipitation is during the season, April, May and June. This was just issued last Friday, and these white colours mean that rainfall is forecast to be most likely around normal. So it appears that what we're looking at here is that conditions could be becoming wetter and could be going into more and more unsettled pattern. So actually what I'm now going to be predicting is that yes, the rest of March is probably dry, but from the beginning of April or the last few days of March we're going to see this westerly flow come in. I think the jet stream will develop across Scotland. We'll find outbreaks of rain, but that's going to be moving ever southwards, and actually it could be that April turns out to see rainfall nearer normal even across the south of the country with a jet stream blowing from west to east, and it could be that Scotland and western Scotland are quite wet but near normal rainfall conditions down to the south. So it's time not to jump up and down and panic just at the moment. It does look as if things could be starting to ease and we could see some rainfall on the way. So hopefully that's been useful for you. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget, we're all kept free of charge by the adverts you see around the screen. If you see one you like, click on it, go through to the advertiser. That's what generates revenue for us. And thanks again for watching. Keep the sun shining, and don't forget to tell your friend about this service. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye for now.